There is one really simple way that you can build an enormous amount of trust at the same time as building a huge amount of desire in people so that they want to buy from you. So much so that you kind of almost don't even really need to sell at all. Let me tell you about it. So what I'm about to share with you is particularly important when you have an audience of people where they have low levels of trust. Basically, they call bullshit on pretty much everything. They're skeptical. Maybe they've seen it all before and they're desperately trying to find someone who's actually as good as they say they are. You know that they've been damaged. Your reputation basically has been inadvertently damaged by the other experiences they've ever had, right? Because remember, generally, people are not coming to us first. They've usually tried other solutions to their problems before they get to you and I, right? So I'm going to show you actually what I've learned about this, how I've learned to do this based on what I actually learned from going back to school at 6 p.m. one summer's evening. That sounds really strange, doesn't it? But I promise I will explain. Now, if you're thinking, I really want to have a community around me of people who are also on this journey, who also are trying to figure out how to make more sales of their online programs, come and join me and just over 5,000 other amazing entrepreneurs just like you who are on this mission. We have a free Facebook group. It's called the Email Marketing Show Community. Literally open up Facebook, search for the Email Marketing Show Community, join us in there, and we're there all day, every day, sharing ideas, asking questions, answering each other's questions, and getting inspiration. It's a really awesome place to come and hang out. So come and join us in the Email Marketing Show Community. Now look, if people knew just how good you are at what you do, if they knew just how good your product or service is, do you think they would buy? And hopefully your answer to that is yes. If your answer is, well, maybe, that tells me you're not very confident in the offer itself. So that's definitely something you're going to go work on. But I'm going to assume that what you've got is really fucking good. So what are we going to do to sell more of it? Because if they just knew how damn good what you've put together for them is, they would all buy. And that's what started this thinking. I remember when I was at school, I was in high school, and one of the teachers came to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, look, next week we're going to have an open day. And I was like, what the hell is that? And they're like, basically, we want a few of our good students who are talkative, who are confident talking to other people. This guy here, even though I'm not actually that socially confident, I'm more confident when I'm giving presentations and stuff, but they thought I was confident. Would you stay behind and just be one of the students they could talk to about the school? Because basically, they're going to invite loads of middle school kids and, more importantly, their parents to come and take a look around the school. And they need some other students who are currently at the school to be hanging around to answer questions, to give demonstrations. Oh, here's how the basketball net works. I know loads about that, obviously. Oh, here's how the Bunsen burner works. Or here's what we do in the drama department. They wanted all these demonstration classes to be going on. Why? Why do schools do this? Both just regular schools and these privately funded schools. Why do they do it? Well, the best way of getting someone to decide to buy, not to sell to them, but to get them to decide to buy of their own fruition, is to get them to experience what is it like to actually be a customer of yours. That's why I often talk about when you give away a free lead magnet and you just sort of frivolously toss it to them as a link in an email or on a page, and you give it no gravitas, you don't surround it and treat it with value, you are not giving them an experience of what it's really like to be a customer of yours, which is not good. So what we're going to do is come up with some different ways that you can allow people to experience what's it actually like to work with you. If you could answer that question, I'm going to give you some examples of some great practical ways you could do this, but how can you? I want to get you really your thinking going on about how can you give people this example, this experience of what it's like to actually become a customer. Because once they realize what it's like to be working with you, to be a paying client, if it's right for them, if the way you do it is right for them, they are going to decide to buy. That's how I want to be treated. That's how I want to feel. That's the kind of group that I want to be in. So a great way of doing this is through using what the schools often do, which is open days, right? Hey, we're having an open day. So you might be thinking, that's great, you've got an in-person facility. Like, I know we've got some clients who've got gyms and fitness facilities and stores and things like this. But what about for us online businesses? Well, it's really simple. We've done this for years, and I call it an open day. I literally have an entire email campaign called an open day where I say, hey, we've got one of our members' Q&A sessions. It's coming up. It's coming up next week. Would you like to come along as my guest? You will come along. You can ask questions if you want. You can just listen if you want. You're literally there as my guest, as if you're a member. Take full advantage of it. You are welcome to come along and try it out. Why does that work? Well, I really believe that when I'm teaching live, when I'm answering people's questions and off the hoof, and I'm not so scripted or so planned, I'm not particularly scripted any times, but like when I'm not so planned and it's just a one-directional thing like here, I believe when people see me in that context of literally working with our clients, they will go, oh my God, this is amazing. They'll get to see my true value. You will get to see exactly how I channel my 20 plus years of experience into literally diving into your business and helping you make significant moves forward. I know that when people see that, they're going to be like, holy shit, I want some of that. I want access to him, and I can't believe I can get it for such a low monthly investment. And if that's like, if you've got a program like that where you get to help people live, let them experience that by coming along. So come along as my guest to a Q&A. If you've got a live training that's normally only for your high-level customers or your members or something like that, it's usually a closed-door thing, invite a select bunch of people to come along as your guest to that training. And that could be an online training. It might be an in-person event. This has worked very well for me as a customer. I know, for example, as a guy who runs a really great mastermind in the UK, he's become a great friend of mine. He's a great business person, and I was looking for a mastermind to join the UK because I was kind of sick and tired of flying all the way to Florida 3 times a year and once to bloody Puerto Rico, which cost a bloody fortune. Please, I went. It was a gorgeous place, but I wanted a UK mastermind. So he said, do you know what? Rather than commit, come along. We're meeting in London in December. Come along, try your session. I went to that room and I thought, this is the kind of room I want to be in. These are the kind of people I want to share lunch with. This is the kind of person, people, and the kind of conversations I want to be having. I am in. He didn't have to sell me anything. He was like, have you got any feedback? Here's the price. And I was in for, 30 grand or something like that. It was a high level mastermind, but without any selling, no sales call, no webinar, nothing. Literally by going and having a go. They do the same thing. Like in the next section of this is basically you've got open days. The next one is trials, right? So that could be like a free session like that. It could be like a $1 trial into a membership or a $5 trial. As long as it's very low, it's not like half price, not like a discount. That's going to do something different, but it has to feel close to free. It's a bit like when you go take a test drive of a car, right? That's again what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we know if we get people to sit in the car, drive it around a bit, they're going to fall in love with how it smells, how it feels, the status it gives them, the position in the car is going to make them feel good. They're way more likely to buy. I wouldn't be surprised, I don't think anyone's surprised, that the conversion rate of somebody who takes a test drive in a car is usually very high to them buying. Like when we bought this car that we currently have, we're not really car people, it's just MG, but it's a really nice one. And we went for a test drive one afternoon. And we were like, we're not going to buy anything, but we'll just see if Emma was comfortable driving a bigger car because she's been like a Vauxhall Corsa, like a real small car kind of person, her entire driving life. So we get into this MG, she's a bit nervous, but then she's like, oh my God, I love it. Why does she love it? Because she's experiencing what it's like to be a user, to be a customer, to be a client. This is powerful. It's not words on a page. It's not somebody telling you what it's like. It's allowing someone to feel immersed. And that's the important part, to feel. They're allowed to feel what it's like. And of course, sometimes we're going to try something out and we don't like it. When we went mattress shopping, we lay out loads of mattresses like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like the way it does that at the edge. And eventually we're like, we like this mattress. So again, it allows people to not buy. The wrong people are not going to buy. You're going to get less complaints because they've already sampled it. Like if you come onto one of my coaching calls and you realize I swear a lot and you think, fuck, I don't really like, well, you probably won't think, fuck, I don't like swearing, right? But if you think, oh gosh, I don't like swearing very much, then you're going to be, this is not the place for me. That's better than you realizing that once you've paid and being offended at having paid for the privilege of being offended. I don't want to offend anybody who doesn't want to be offended, all right? I don't really want to offend anybody at all. So if you don't have something live that can show up to, another version of this, or you want to protect that group a bit more, you might send out an excerpt of a recording from a coaching call. Just make sure you got the permission from the people in that room and do it all really nicely and ethically, of course, depending on your topic matter. But again, showing people little clips from one of your coaching calls lets them go, oh, that's what it's like to be there. Make it pretty raw. Don't make it rare, but make it raw. Make it something you can get a real sense of it. Don't make it as polished and punchy as like maybe a piece of video like this. Another really good way of helping people experience what it's like is to actually get them some results. Send them something that they can implement and start getting results from, and they go, oh my God, when I do what this person says, I get these results. And it could be just some kind of small result. It might be lots of replies. It might be lots of, it doesn't matter what it is, a little bit of weight, a little bit of thing, a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a change in whatever. Get them some kind of result, and that allows them to experience what it's like to be a client. The whole idea is about giving people the feeling of being that client. That's what we want to do. So there's lots of different ways you can absolutely do this. I'm really curious to hear how you are going to implement this. So feel free to leave me a comment below this video. But I really want you to think about and get creative on how can I give people the experience and the feeling of actually being a paying client. And of course, to do all of this, you want to make sure you're continuing to build more people onto your email list. So there are 23 different ways that you can build your email list that I shared in 12 minutes. I get pretty out of breath sharing them in just 12 minutes, but 23 different places you can find new people to bring onto your email list. Where are they all? Just click on that video, go watch that now, and I will catch you in the next one.